Hello once again, everyone. Just yesterday I received a package in the mail. I believe it took about 4 or 5 days, and it came in this bubble envelope from UPS. UPS was involved with the shipping of the part that I needed shipped. It was a pretty big bubble envelope, and received packages through same-day courier with similar packaging. This one has bubbles inside of it, but for different kinds. And it was just basically like a padded plastic envelope. Anyway, I ordered a part, actually 2 parts from a motorcycle. Basically just very small electronic parts, and I'll show you the part right here. I put the penny next to it to give you an idea of what size it is. Now that's a thermistor, and that thermistor is for the fuel sensor in my Honda motorbike. Basically what happens is that little thermistor gets put into a tube that ends up going into a reserve tank. When the fuel is in the reserve tank at a certain level, it covers this thermistor inside the tube and keeps it cool. When the fuel drops below the thermistor, of course there's a current runs through it, 12 volt current, and the thermistor then warms up and makes contact and causes the light to come on up in the dash of the Honda, warning you that the fuel is now below the sensor, and of course is getting to the point where there's no fuel left in the tank. It's just in a reserve tank. Anyway, this part was $2.10 plus tax, and very small part. So I ordered 2 because I have 3 actual fuel sensing units that need to be repaired. I have 2 other complete frames, and obviously the bike, the motorcycle is vintage. I shouldn't say vintage, but antique, I guess is the word. 1984. I have one in running condition, and of course 2 other complete frames and engines and parts galore. But anyway, without boring you with those details, I decided to order in one more and repair one more, because obviously this thermistor over a span of 25 years, obviously it wouldn't hold up to the gas. I guess eventually ate it away. But the peculiar thing was, it cost $12 for shipping, and that's the envelope that they put it in. And it came in this package here, actually, inside this packaging here. But just 2. But all told, taxes in and shipping. I believe shipping was from Canada. I ended up finding the company in Canada, Newark, Newark. I was looking in the States, but finally when I went to order, it mentioned to me that I should probably convert over to the Canadian website, which I did, and then it was very smooth from there on in. Wonderful service, I got to say. I'm not complaining about the service, but it cost me $12. And that's what it amounts to. And that's the ridiculous activity that is going on here in Newfoundland, Labrador. Can't get this part. There's no bloody way. I tried electronic shop in St. John's, and they would certainly order in a bunch. Not saying when they would come in, but like if I wanted to order like 100, yeah, not a problem. Not a problem at all. But this was very difficult to find, this thermistor. But eventually I did get it. I have one of the fuel sensors repaired in the bike, and it's working properly. For those of you who are wondering, it's a Magna V30, 1984 V30. It's the original Honda Magna, the first one that came off the line. I think they may have made them in '83, but the jury's still out on that. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's the very first one that came off the line. Not the very first one, I should say, but the very first year that they started producing the Magnas. And that's what the sensor, that thermistor is for. But anyway, UPS did a wonderful job, I must say. They didn't deliver to the door, of course. They don't deliver to a post office box, they say. That's the problem. It's always the main issue. So what I had to do on my invoice is to list my home address and my civic address. Just one moment, please. As I was saying, I had to list my civic address, and below that list the post office box number, so I could receive that, because they don't ship to a post office box, which is weird, but it came and it made it. They never delivered to the door. They dropped it off at the post office, but they do not deliver to a post office box. No. So that's the way around that. List your home address, the civic address, and just below it put it in the post office box, and then the people on the ground that are dealing with deliveries here in Newfoundland in the area, they realize that, you know, the bulk of the people in Newfoundland live in rural areas, not the cities, and we don't have home delivery. So I don't know, a bit of prejudice, but that's the way around it. It worked for me several times. Anyway, that's another video for you, and please share your common problems you've had with postal service, and subscribe and like, and you know, make some positive comments. But yeah, that's my frustration. I wouldn't make this video today. Like, I'm really having a difficult time getting parts. Like, I mean, right now, just to find a fuse, a basic fuse, like not for a car, but like say an inline fuse for a CB, I'm not exactly sure where I could get that. I was lucky that I can actually make my own, and I do have extra fuses anyway from other radios and stuff like that. But you can imagine the confusion here. You know, you're looking to try to do a project, and you need a thermistor, you need a diode, you need a resistor, you need some kind of component, and you can't get it anywhere around here. And if you can, you're probably looking at a long time to get it in, and probably looking at having to order many more than you want. There's the common frustration, and I'm certainly not pleased, but I have to deal with it. And that is the price we pay for living in rural areas, I suppose. But we did have a Radio Shack here in Stephenville at one point, and I used to get parts there, no problem, and I get serviced on there, no problem. But now it's the building has gone to the source, Circuit City, and they're basically gone into cell phone sales and service. That's it. Sad reality. I don't think there's a Radio Shack in Canada. I think they pretty well moved out. They're not. I don't know. I don't know of any. And like I say, online you can search as much as you want. I find the electronic companies that are still here are only catering to big companies. You know, companies that can bring in hundreds and thousands of parts and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars. They're not catering to the simple man like me or you that are looking for parts. Anyway, that's my rant, that's my rave, I suppose, and not too much of a complaint, but when you're looking for a part, it's certainly not very nice to have to be rooting around and trying to find things. But anyway, Newark, although it was an awful lot for shipping, I can see, you know, because of the packaging, yeah, at least I got the part, and I was able to order one, or as many as I want. So looks like they may have my business in the future. Oh, also, if you know of any Canadian companies that, you know, wouldn't mind providing for the simple man some parts, electronic parts, whatever, what have you, let me know. Put it in the comments down below, because I can certainly use as much information as possible on getting parts. Thank you guys and gals for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and like I say, that's my rant. Have a good day.